Good afternoon to all of our Saga DAO Alpha Club legends out there. We are absolutely honored to be sitting down with some of the biggest pioneers in Web3 over at the Defenders, and I am beyond honored to be sitting down today with Lewis Hall and Steve Carell, who have not only founded one of the biggest powerhouses here in Web3, but have truly brought so much value, not just to the Defenders community, but Web3 as a whole. And we are extremely pumped to be able to sit down today and deep dive into everything that the Defenders have been pioneering in Web3. It really is an honor to sit down with you, gentlemen, and I look forward to an amazing product demo.
Thanks for having us, man. Really excited to be here.
Yeah, man. It's great.
Vice versa. So as we get rolling, I do want to give a nice introduction to the community. So if you don't mind, can you give us just a quick rundown of who the Defenders are and what brought you guys to Web3?
So we started in December 2022. I worked for OK Bears through all of their insane pump and worked for them for over a year. Kais and the team were incredible. And one of the biggest things that I saw and experienced while I was there was that if you hold an NFT with any kind of value, you're a target. And people are able to track wallets very easily, depending on where an NFT is. And so the scammers really kind of like are like sharks feeding and preying upon those holders. And we saw just so many people get scammed from whether it was just hacked accounts sending them messages or hacked X's. I mean, it just was across the board. Saw a lot of people, a lot of loss. And what I realized is that there just wasn't very much being done in the space to stop wallet drains. And I knew from my experience with community building, and I knew my experience with a background in IT and tech, that something could be done. And so I set out to develop Defenders. And we've been building for, I guess, 2.5 years now. It's pretty incredible the amount of time that we've been really like working away. And we've had 3 iterations of the platform. The first one really was to prove that the smart contract worked. The second one was to work on UI and UX and really like get a lot of data about that. And then and the third one really is like the public release, which not only is used for Solana, but for EVM as well. So when we release our full public release really soon, it'll actually have multiple networks, not just Sol and Polygon, which we've had a small public beta on. The initial concept really was like, how do we stop scammers? But what it kind of quickly translated into is more of this understanding about community liquidity. And not only do we stop scammers from stealing one individual's assets, but as we continue to secure the space, ultimately what we're doing is securing communities. When a whale gets drained, it's not just the whale that's affected, it's the whole community. Especially like so many of us are really NFT lovers and collectors and NFT community members at this point. But I love NFTs. I think they're great. The communities are fantastic. Internet communities like that PFP representing who we are and the communities that we really appreciate and love. When the floor goes down, it affects everybody. And so ultimately, the goal is to improve the health of the whole ecosystem. So what we ended up with was Defenders. I backwards designed this concept where I knew that we needed to make something that stopped wallet drains, right? And we've already seen that people use staking sites in order to stop wallet drains for like single instance wallet drains. The problem is that when yes, you can stop a single instance wallet drain, but what happens afterward? What happens if your seed phrase is compromised? And this is a huge issue where you can have your seed phrase compromised on your ledger. And if somebody restores that seed phrase on another ledger, then what? The reality, the cold, hard reality is that if someone has your seed phrase, you are toast and there is nothing that you can do about it. So we got to build something that that sidesteps that makes it so that you're still secure even if somebody's got your seed phrase. And so we integrated 2FA. We came up with a overall like a multi-signature system that utilizes TOTP and 2FA along with your wallet signature, and that's your 2FA vault. On Solana, we have there are things called PDAs, which are program derived addresses that can be created directly from your wallet, and these PDAs, the way that they work, they're kind of like micro wallets inside of your wallet, and so you can store tokens in there, you can store NFTs, you can use the NFT freeze function. There's a bunch of different really incredible stuff that you can do on Solana with your assets, where as long as you have your wallet signature, it doesn't matter if the seed phrase is compromised. So the wallet signature is one key and your 2FA signature is the other key. If you have both of those keys, then you can do all kinds of amazing stuff with these PDAs. And one of them is stopping wallet drains.
No, I just want to double back really quick on something you just said that really struck my heart very big. Unfortunately, I was a victim of a wallet drain myself a couple of years back. And they actually took everything that I had worked so hard for my family to get us in a better position. But as you mentioned, it not only impacted my family, it actually impacted the community I was a part of, because I had quite a bit of assets with that community. And unfortunately, as you mentioned, I did see a decrease. And I don't want to say I was the reason why value left the community, but again, other people got scared because the floor started dropping and it just started bringing this just negativity, I guess, into the community. And that's where I started to truly understand that even though Web3 security isn't like the most shiniest topic, it's a topic that we need to start taking more seriously. Because again, individuals like myself who not only have been drained, but I can transparently say I'm not the smartest person when it comes to technology, okay? And I've always been very transparent about that, but I love to learn. And that's why when I found your community and I started seeing the true value you guys are bringing, not just to the defenders community, but you really help Web3 as a whole. I personally feel that is value that is just so underrated. And I'm really glad that you had mentioned that as individuals, when we're a part of communities, when we get compromised, we're actually compromising an entire community as well. So I'm really happy to hear that you're not just trying to focus on, I guess, individual security, but as I mentioned, trying to help Web3 as a whole. So I really do appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks, man. And it's just another thing that we're building is we have free tools as well. So we've built out the Defenders Alert Network, and the Defenders Alert Network has 352,000 members across 45 Discord communities, and it's a free to use. It will remain free to use. We're not going to jack any prices up on this. But it's a decentralized alert system for Discord communities. We'll add Telegram later. It's just one more tool in your satchel that allows for you to make better decisions, to be informed, to hopefully like get information about scams, whether it's Discord or X or Telegram, whatever it is, across the space. And in this Web3 space, time is so important. Timing, like if we had an alert the other day where somebody posted an alert on, I think, like July 7th or something, and then there was a massive wallet scam and hack that happened 2 or 3 days later, and people in our community knew. And it's important, like this is the give back, but it's all about building that community, right? Like we don't have to make millions of dollars off of a free tool. That free tool saves people.
Well, I want y'all to know that at the Saga DAO Alpha Club, we actually use those alerts every single day, and we make sure that our community stays safe. So I personally make sure that anytime those alerts come through, it is relayed not only to the community within Discord, but on Twitter as well. Because again, it's not just about keeping our community safe. It's about keeping Web3 as a whole safe. So I want both of y'all to know that your product is literally saving lives every single day. It is being utilized in many different Discords, including ourselves. And it's a tool that I'm so grateful to have for our community.
Appreciate
And
it,
it's
man.
crazy that it hasn't, even these major wallets that have countless amounts of funds to spend, they haven't invested in the security aspect of things. And like you said earlier in the conversation, is that security is not the sexiest thing. But what's even uglier is getting drained, is having a community's floor price get completely wrecked. Because I mean, we're all human. We all make mistakes. And so, with what we're trying to do with the Discord bots and with the, defenders as a whole, is to give people the tools so that they can protect themselves before anything goes wrong. It's just adding that extra layer of security on top of your current OPSEC. We want to make sure that we're not controlling, we're not trying to funnel people into doing things specifically. We don't want to, sandbox them into just using us. We want to give them options and allowing them to explore and be safe at the same time.
No, absolutely. And again, you hit it right on the nail. As we mentioned before, it may not be, the most shiniest topic, but if you're willing to invest in what I say our future, our children's future, but you're not willing to invest into the safety of those assets, that's where I had to learn the extremely hard way. And I don't ever want anybody to feel that pain. It's something that's still gut wrenching to this day. So, out of curiosity, where do you all see yourselves in the next, let's say, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years? I know you had mentioned that you're working on building outside of just Solana, but do you all see bringing your product outside of Web3 to start onboarding non-crypto native users into our ecosystem? Or where do you see the Defender's overall vision within the next few years?
That's a great question. One of the things that when I hear about people saying, that they gotta onboard normies and they gotta onboard, like people like making sweatshirts and having parties and doing all the things, like PvP games and, all the little kind of gimmicky, whatever, like it is what it is. Like this is what people are building. When I think about that, I'm kind of like, that's not Web 2. Like that's not Web 2. So here is my goal, our goal, Steve-O, love you, buddy. We are going to work with networks that are working with larger organizations and give them that 2FA security architecture so that when these larger organizations, think like game studios. Game studios is an easy one. RWAs, like when you take out the whole Web3 thing, people know how to use 2FA. They know that, oh man, like my, whatever, like when GTA 6 comes out, right, and they want to eventually sell a skin, say, imagine the idea that, you can sell skins or you can sell assets. We want to be that security company that offers 2FA architecture that prevents wallet drain, so that those users aren't thinking, they're not thinking that this is crypto rails or Web3 rails. They're thinking, I just got to lock my shit up. The same way that I lock up my Twitter account, the same way that like some of these normies are going to lock up their Facebook accounts or Instagram or whatever it is. The idea is creating infrastructure that people are already familiar with. They don't need to know about the background. They don't need to know about how it works. They just need to know that it does work.
And it's going to become more and more seamless with, as these larger companies start, integrating Web3 tech into their businesses. It's not going to feel like crypto. The masses they're kind of gun shy when it comes to me. We mentioned crypto and they instantly, now, with Bitcoin, kind of ramping up, more and more, people are becoming more familiar with the term crypto and they're kind of looking at it less like a scam. But at the end of the day, it's still something, they look at it as risk. A majority of people are not as risk adverse as, us as we're grinding away in the trenches. So the things that are built, and that's why we built Defenders the way that we did, where it becomes seamless. It's less of like a crypto thing. And it's like Lou said, it's more of just kind of like your day-to-day measures that you take. So it's like, you're just locking up stuff. You're just protecting it. It's not like, oh, it's crypto this, it's digital assets. And you still have ownership of your digital assets. When you get home, you put your you got your passports and your social security cards, like they're in a safe, right? Like that's your IRL vault. It's that we want people to treat their digital assets in the same way, and we want to make it as least cumbersome as possible.
Again, you hit it right on the nail. Something I've always truly believed in when we speak about onboarding and mass adoption, it's going to take projects such as the Defenders who understand that the tech should always be in the back and the product in the front. Your customer base shouldn't even know they're using blockchain technology. It should be that seamless of an experience. And I feel that's exactly what y'all are doing, as you just mentioned in the gaming demographic. Now, I'm personally not a gamer, but I think about my children. I'm sure they've spent $100 here and there, on different in-game assets. But how do they know those assets are secure? How do they know they just can't be? And again, I'm not a gamer, so I don't know the tech side of it, but how can they protect themselves from being scammed? That's where I see the Defenders coming in and being that bridge just to bring security to every demographic out there. Because at the end of the day, we are in a world now where digital assets are everything. Whether you're in crypto or not, everything is online. So that's what has always made me extremely bullish about y'all is you're not just thinking tunnel vision for Web3. You're thinking about how can we bring value to the world as a whole and show them that blockchain technology is actually very useful and can be almost life-saving when it comes down to not just protecting our assets, but protecting our families. Now, out of curiosity, if y'all don't mind, what made y'all want to also create a PFP side of the project to represent the Defenders?
So that part's marketing, right?
Yeah, it's for the culture. We're NFT guys, right? And so it's at the end of the day, that's the fan base, right? That's the demographic we want. People, they're the first, adopters of the tech. They're going to be the NFT guys. It's going to be the meme token guys, and everything. It would have been like we probably could have done it faster and easier if it was just like like a AI 3D card that just spun or whatever. But having a PFP that people can actually relate to at the same time, and so it's the visual, it's the marketing side, like Lou said, but it's also it acts as that all access pass as well. That's at the end of the day, that is the utility of the NFT. Having a cool, unique visual, that's added bonus, that's for the culture. But at the end of the day, it just acts as a pass. It's sort of the typical NFT kind of hype phase, I think, and I think Lou agrees with me. That's kind of done. It's if the NFT doesn't serve a real purpose, it's got to, everybody talks utility this, utility that, but we feel that what we've provided with our collection, it actually provides real utility. So moving forward, that's for each chain that we expand onto, we'll have collections that can be represented by those users on those chains. But at the end of the day, they'll all still be Defenders brand, and they'll bring all access pass to the tech on whatever chain you're operating on. And we wanted to make it so that again, when you're flipping through your network select on our public beta, you can go from Solana to Polygon to AVAX to ARB. You can just flip right through, and your NFTs will just load right up onto your view screen, and you'll be able to swap from chain to chain and secure everything that you hold from each of your wallets all in one place.
So the other thing too that I was thinking about really is two things. One, and this is like to kind of tag back on the last convo, was about compliance. As these organizations, large corporations, start integrating Web3 rails, they'll have to have compliance the same way that your bank has security compliance and regulations that they have to adhere to. Like all the 2FA, all of that, the security infrastructure that you have to go through to prove that you are you, to prove that your assets are yours, whether it's fiat or digital currency or an NFT or an asset. Those compliance and regulations that these organizations have to follow, like that's where like our next big step is. What you see today, what you're going to see in a minute in our demo, is just the B2C, right? Like, so this is the business to client relationship where we are trying to secure people with PFPs first. Our platform also secures tokens as well, right? So like this is like meme communities or Solana or whatever token you're on or coin you're on for each network. Overall, like the long game is the B2B, where we're selling the overall access to the platform. There won't be a PFP, which it is what it is, but the security side is huge and it's untapped. Like you look at these wallets and there are some things that are integrated into the wallets that make them safer. But they're only safer. Like you get your seed phrase compromised, it doesn't matter, So anyway, yeah, the PFP starting from that point as a jump off made a lot of sense. Like I'm OG Solana. I've got a lot of connections in the space, and it made a lot of sense to build that community based off of PFP. And we are, as Steve said, we're going to like continue expanding to other communities as well with kind of, I always think about when we talk about our PFPs, I think about it a little bit like Guardians of the Galaxy, like a team, the Defenders team, and like we're making this squad across all these different chains.
Well, I will be very transparent. Again, not just the utility is something that the Saga DAO Alpha Club not only appreciates having the access to, but we love rocking our Defenders PFP. We love knowing that we have a beautiful piece of art that not only represents your amazing IP, but represents the culture of what you're building, and just, again, being that bridge and bringing everybody together. So I know at the Saga DAO Alpha Club, we represent that Defenders PFP, and we are proud to do so.
Appreciate it, brother. We love having you guys part of our community and vice versa.
So if y'all don't mind, could you give us a little example of one, how the alerts can look like when it comes to communities who have access to your alert system? And maybe if we can just get a little example of what the PFPs look like and what our listeners out there in the audience right now can expect to see.
So this is the Defenders Vault system. This is the splash page for the Vault system. There's the carousel for the Vault. We have safe send, emergency migration. There's a point system. You get points for locking NFTs, more if you have a Defenders, less for CNFTs, and then other like partnered collections that get different values of points. We're working on a secure staking platform that's free to use for NFT collections. So you'd be able to onboard your community onto this, not pay $5,000 to $10,000 for a staking platform, and it's all built on top of the Vault system. So that if your community member has any kind of compromise, that they'll always be safe and always be able to move their assets to a safe location. On the left, we've got our live dashboard. It's got a bunch of stats about the different chain that you're specifically on. We've got a little bit of live news and updates, etc., market update or market insights. And then if we go into the Vault system, what you end up seeing, and also, so real quick, right now on beta.defenders.com, we are just about to go full on live with this new public release, but until all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed, right now what you guys will see is Solana mainnet and DevNet. But if you go into the Vault system, you'll see you can lock either NFTs or you can lock tokens. All of this is related to the Jupe strict list. So if a token is on Jupe strict list or even Radium, I believe, it will pretty much automatically populate inside of our Vault. So if I go over here to this Defender, click lock, it gives me three options. I can use emergency migration, safe send, or just lock. The emergency migration, so if your seed phrase is compromised, often the scammer will attach like a listener to it. And that listener will, because it has a seed phrase, automatically siphon out any gas, so Solana, other tokens, from your wallet. And you're not able to put in gas in order to send your NFTs. This is a really, really awful situation, because they're constantly siphoning that Solana out. And so with emergency migration, we can just go in, select all of your NFTs, click emergency migration. And what we did that's new, this is really different, and it actually solves a lot of things across the space, like with airdrop claims and a lot of other things. It allows you to fund a send transaction from a third-party payer You put in a safe destination wallet. You send your gas over here to a specific wallet that is housed within the smart contract. And then it allows you to, in a completely compromised wallet, zero gas, seed phrase, somebody's draining you constantly, you're able to send your assets to a safe location, no matter what.
So that's what we use when we do the, these marketing campaigns where we lock up a, high valued NFT and then we tweet out the seed phrase of that wallet. We did one last August with a Ute. And we had over 100,000 views on that.
400,000. There were 1,000 attempts to get the Ute out of the wallet.
Yeah, and then that's how. And we even have people, taking over ownership of the wallet that owns these, these NFTs, and we just use the emergency migration and take the assets out. It's we've done this a number of times, and we've had white hat hackers even come in being like, tried to make a bet. Somebody was like, "Oh, 100 SOL and I'll get this out of there." And it was like, "Yeah, all right, dude, bet." And then he was like, "Oh, actually, I didn't realize that that's how you guys did it."
This is extremely,
it's crazy.
This is absolutely amazing because, coming from my personal experience, as y'all mentioned, even after you're compromised and your NFTs assets are gone, those scammers are still able to get, like, for example, the Jupe airdrops, the When airdrop. Every time those airdrops have happened, it's been siphoned out of my compromised wallet. There's no way I can reach. So now I have the alpha, I have the knowledge and the information here, and I am truly bullish to be able to use it.
And that's one of our next steps. That we even had conversations with Jupe on this, and same with Magic Eden, because we worked with Soul Recovery, and we were able to help recover about $500,000 in Magic Eden airdrops that were delivered to compromised wallets. So with the vault system, it has its own address. So for these airdrops, you can register your vault address as the receiving wallet. So then if you ever get compromised, like, it's not going to go into your wallet and then you have to manually put it into the vault. It can go right into the vault from the jump. So that way, if anything ever goes left, you can just go in and right into the vault, into the emergency migration, and send that stuff out to a safe place. So at the end of the day, that's part of the defenders for enterprise rails, right? Whereas if we can get some of these larger companies, it's not a big deal for them, right? Because they're not losing revenue per se. Although if it's a compromised wallet and the airdrop just immediately gets sold, then now it's kind of pushing down any sort of pump that they would hope to gain. But again, it's amazing to us that some of these companies that have expendable cash aren't focused on some of these solutions that we've been able to solve in 2.5 years, and we've bootstrapped it ourselves. Like, we don't, any capital that we've put in has either been out of our own pockets or from these NFT mints. And again, we minted our original collection for, like, I want to say it was $70 USD.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we weren't even going like, big, $200-300 a mint. We did it for $70 because we want to make it so that security isn't just for people that got, big bags. Everybody should be safe in the space. So that's why the fees are super small. The cost for the mints is very affordable. It's the price of a ledger, and a ledger can get hacked, and your Defender Vault can't. So it's a no-brainer.
All right, so this is how easy it is. Select an NFT, click lock over here. Because I have Defenders locked inside of my wallet, I don't actually get charged a service fee. That's the unlimited access pass. So if you have a Defender, you don't get charged a service fee. It's about 25 cents an NFT. Anybody can use it, right? It still is inexpensive. If you got 10 NFTs that you want to lock, it's $2.50, right? No big deal. So you click on confirm. I put my 2FA from Google Auth in there. I confirm it with a wallet transaction, and then it tells me that I've successfully secured one NFT. So should be pretty quick. So this is the one that I had just locked a moment ago. If I refresh here, now it's gone from the wallet side, and it'll pop up down here in my Defenders collection. There he is, right there. He's locked. So now if I were to go to like Magic Eden, right, and take a look at my assets, which, so if I go here to items for NFTs, so all these frozen ones, these are all frozen inside of my vault system. Here's that frozen NFT that I showed you on the last page. So 1976 is right here, frozen. One last thing, and I just wanted to show you guys overall how the Defenders alert system worked. The way the alert system works is it's a decentralized alert system that only mods and admin have access to submitting the alerts. The alerts are completely sanitized, so no links can get through them. It's decentralized in that all the different communities have the ability to share alpha and share, well, like security alpha. Where it is not decentralized and it's more centralized is that I have the ability to kick bad characters out. So the links are sanitized. No links can go through, whether it's a good link or a bad link. They just don't go through. And sign up is super easy. Takes probably about 5 minutes or so. Overall, the way that the sign up actually works is you go through, you click on, so you invite the bot to your server, you choose your report channel, you choose your announcement channel, and then you choose security alert role. And once you've done that, then you can go through and test your setup. And overall, the test setup basically is that you send out a narrative, and the overall, like the network itself, is that you send the narrative, what's happening. X account is being hacked, or has been hacked. They're sending out a scam link. You put that into your narrative, and then you put the steps, like, don't click links, let your friends know. And then if you click on test, you exactly what happens. And this only goes off inside of the specific community that you send it in. So I don't send this out to 350,000 people. I send it out to the almost 5,000 people in the Defender server. But they're used to it now. They know that we are often testing. So that's basically it. Again, completely free to use.
Yeah, you scroll up, you can see right there. That was the alert that was sent out by our boy Kev, and he was able to let people know that NPC Solana News was running a scam. And then unfortunately, there was another project that they weren't a part of the network, and they got into I want to say it was like a Calendly conversation with NPC Solana News. And those guys ended up hacking the dev's laptop, and they drained the treasury from that project. And we sent out this alert went out like 2 days prior to the scam actually going down. So like, we're trying to let everybody know that this is a free tool, and it literally costs 5 minutes of your time to set it up. And then once it's set up, I mean, the founders could have been alerted to the fact that NPC Solana News was a scam, and that could have saved the entire project. I don't know if they're dead in the water, but I mean, they got completely evaporated. So it's we want to spread the word and get as many projects running this in their servers as possible, because again, we're stronger together, and we want to make sure that this the liquidity stays here, because these scammers, they're not draining wallets and compromising accounts
and
reinvest it back in. No, like it's getting completely pulled off the chain. You know what I mean? They're sending those funds into a cyclone, and there's buying freaking lattes with that cash the next day.
Well, okay, so let's say, for example, with the Bored Ape Solana Club, because I'm a Basie family member as well. So let's say we have our Bored Apes locked up within their staking platform. Could we still utilize the vault even though the apes are locked in their staking site?
So unfortunately, no. What our goal is to have NFT founders start to move away from them taking responsibility for people's assets. And all that they have to do is confirm that the asset is in their wallet, in the user's wallet, right? So instead of this big, elaborate staking platform where they're locking assets, they're dealing with smart contracts, they're dealing with people getting scammed and all the fallout there, we want them to say, all right, cool, let's take a look and confirm that the asset is inside of the Defender's vault. Once they confirm that, then it can show up on their website and say, yep, they're locked. And when we release Fortify, which is our version of staking, what it will do is it will allow users to lock for different lengths of time and get different amounts of points, both for the community, like for Bored Ape Solana Club, they would get points, and then they would also get Defenders points.
Wow. Okay. So when it comes down to the actual Defenders NFT, then anybody who has that within their wallet will have access to the vault.
But anybody can use the vault. You don't need a Defenders NFT. The Defenders NFT just gives you unlimited access to using it without paying a security fee.
And so the way that it works is that if you've got your wallet, you've got 100 NFTs in it, you buy a Defender, you lock the Defender in the vault first, and then the app will, every time you go to lock another NFT after that, it'll confirm that you had the Defender that's locked, and then it'll waive the fee for all the rest of those other NFTs. But I mean, if you don't have a Defender and you just want to go and lock up, like we said, it's 25 cents an NFT. I mean, that's very affordable.
It's a no-brainer, to be very honest. Again, as we spoke about at the beginning, if you're willing to invest in these assets, but you're not willing to invest in the security side, priorities are a little off right there. And again, I had to learn that the very hard way. So this is what I mean by pioneers. Now, of course, there's a little more, I guess, I wouldn't say more value by holding in a Defender, but again, it cuts off some of the fees. But even if you don't have the NFT, you still make it extremely affordable for your everyday NFT collector, meme coin collector, whatever it may be, to be able to safely secure their assets. And I'm absolutely blown away by that. Because again, everybody's here to, at least my experience that I've seen without Web3, everybody was trying to extract value, but the Defenders are here to bring back value. And that's what makes me so beyond bullish on y'all. And I know you can see my smile on my face right now, and I'm just very excited, very excited.
We love the energy, man. I mean, we've put a lot of work into it, and when we get this type of feedback, it really helps kind of keep that fire under us and keep pushing forward. You know, because it's it hasn't been an easy road, but we've got a vision, and we're riding it out until the wheels fall off this game plan.
The alpha too is that like all NFTs gain points, and I had said like a Defender, say, gains 1 point a day, and you can actually see over here my points earned on this side of the screen, right? So Defender gains 1 point a day. Every single other NFT, it's actually not, they're not visually gaining points, but we're in season 0 right now, and our goal is to have people basically farm us. So locking up NFTs, you're getting points for anything that you lock up in there, and then all of those points are going to go toward what we're going to release later on this year. And there have been so many platforms that they're based off of like using your Wi-Fi or using your bandwidth or whatever it is. And our goal is to build an ecosystem that people will continually use. Like there's so many platforms that people, it's like a one and done kind of thing. I built this thing and it's going to have a TGE and then it's going to go to 0. Security is not going away, and neither are we.
And we want to reward people for being safe, right? Like, I mean, it's like double incentivizing them. It's like, oh, we built this platform that's super affordable, keeps your bag safe. Oh, and then also we're going to hook you up for keeping your bag safe, you know, like.
Exactly. And I love the way you just said that, because that's what went through my mind. And this, for everybody listening to this out there, community, this is the biggest alpha you can get. Not only are you able to secure your digital asset, but literally the founders at the Defenders are letting us know we can farm for points. They want us to farm for points.
Farm it up, baby.
While keeping our assets safe. So not only, again, are we securing ourselves, but we're able to actually interact with the products. We're able to farm, I guess is the only other way to put it. But it goes towards something, again, that's not going to disappear overnight. These guys are here for the long haul. They're here for the 5-year, 10-year, 20-year down the line vision. And that's what makes me beyond bullish. And I know everybody at the Saga DAO Alpha Club feels the same way. So thank you for that, gentlemen. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
So again, those of us who are listening to the recording, I want to make it very, very clear that the two things that we spoke about today are, I guess, two different products. There is the live alert system, which again, anybody could utilize within their Discord. But the vault is something that any person out there, whether you have a Defenders NFT or not, can utilize to secure your assets, still be able to farm those points. Now, of course, having that Defenders NFT not only gives you some amazing artwork and IP, which I absolutely love, but it actually gives you more access to farming those points within their vault system. You guys are Tensor as well, or just Magic Eden?
We're everywhere. Yeah, Magic Eden, Tensor, wherever you want to be.
Okay, now for all the project founders out there and all the different businesses that are looking to get a hold of y'all for not only the alert system, but for the vault mechanism, what is the best way to be able to get a hold of y'all?
Probably really like joining the server and opening a ticket.
Okay, perfect. And what we will do is make sure that we put all the appropriate links within our product demo, so we can make sure everybody who's listening to this recording can please go to their Discord server, open up a support ticket, and the Defenders team will absolutely make sure you guys are taken care of. Yeah. I wallet tracked the person who scammed me, and he took it all to the casino, and he was gambling my family's savings at the casino.
Sorry, man.
Oh God.
But I did want to let you gentlemen know that alert, actually, I personally reposted on Twitter because we saw it within our server. Yep. And I had to put it out there because, as y'all said, it's one team, one fight. We have to come together. It's not just about protecting your community. We have to protect everybody at the end of the day, because if we really love Web3, we got to fight for it.
Yeah. Well, Web3 is the community, right? Like, we all think of ourselves, oh, I'm in this community. No, we're in one big, happy community, and the idea is for us to all make it. That's
Absolutely. And I think that's why, not just on a Defenders and Saga DAO Alpha Club spectrum, we came together as such a tight-knit relationship, but I think on the personal level as well, because as Steve just said, we all believe in the same thing. It's not just all the Defenders over there, Alpha Clubs over here, Bored Ape Solana's up. No, we're all united. We're all together, and we're fighting the good fight together. So that's why, there's many projects out there that unfortunately just don't have that way of thinking. And I feel that's why they're not around anymore. But those of us who are here to pioneer together, and we see the long-term beauty of what we're doing, that's when we're actually going to continue to bring that real value to Web3. So I really, really, really do appreciate both of you taking the time to not only sit down with us today at the Saga DAO Alpha Club and go over all your amazing products, but again, for everything you do for every person in Web3 out there, and every person who doesn't even know they're going to be using your technology here over the next couple of years. I know everybody who's listening to this recording is beyond bullish. And if you're not bullish, there's something wrong with you, because again, it's not just about investing in certain assets. It's about protecting those assets you've invested in. So Steve and Lewis, I really do appreciate it. I thank you for taking the time to sit down with us today. I know this is not going to be the last time that we come together. We look forward to, again, I know I sound redundant, but pioneering this beautiful new world that we can all be proud to be a part of. Because at the end of the day, as Steve mentioned, we are one community and we need to fight for that. So everybody out there, I need y'all to stop what you're doing right now. Go check out the Defenders Twitter. Go hit them up on Discord and start securing your assets. They have products that are absolutely affordable. They have an NFT collection out there that not only gives you, again, amazing IP, but it gives you access to some of the most amazing products here in Web3. And I can only imagine where y'all are going to be in the next 1, 2, 10 years down the road. So again, thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thanks, brother. Seriously.